We're back. I'm Steve from Greenlight, and I wanted to test out our script coverage software on a high-concept screenplay to see how it performed. So today, we're doing Charlie Kaufman's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. This is the best screenplay I've ever read, and I want to see if Greenlight coverage agrees. So, let's get into it. I uploaded the script onto our platform, and it provided these notes in under 10 minutes. The logline. When a man discovers that his ex-girlfriend has erased their relationship from her memory, he decides to do the same, only to regret it mid-procedure and desperately tries to reverse it before the deletion is complete. That's it. That is the plot. I do think you could write it in a way that's a bit more enticing, but the software definitely got the gist of it. Alright, let's go over some of the highlights from the script score. Plot construction. 9 out of 10. The plot is cleverly constructed and emotionally captivating, moving back and forth in time to show the relationship's history and dissolution. The fantasy element of the memory erasure procedure adds originality. The pacing and story structure work very well. Dialogue. 9 out of 10. The dialogue, especially between Joel and Clementine, crackles with energy, realism, humor, and tension. It reveals the characters and moves the story forward fluidly. Emotional engagement. 10 out of 10. The script is incredibly emotionally resonant, evoking a strong sense of passion, heartbreak, longing, confusion, and fragility. The characters are sympathetic, and their plight is compelling. I think the hardest part of screenwriting is crafting engaging, interesting, and believable dialogue. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind opens on over 20 pages of perfectly executed dialogue introducing our two main characters, along with their desires and their flaws. You can feel the chemistry between them. It's honestly breathtaking, and it's what makes Kaufman one of the best screenwriters of his generation. Overall rating, 9 out of 10. I'd give it a 10, but I feel like really the only difference between a 9 and a 10 is personal preference, so to each their own. Plot assessment and enhancement. What's working well? The exploration of memory, identity, and the role relationships play in shaping both is thought-provoking. Erasing memories raises interesting philosophical questions. The structure of presenting scenes out of order that the audience has to piece together mirrors the disorientation of the characters as memories are erased. This is effective. This second note just blew me away here. It's something I subconsciously felt, but not something I ever thought to articulate. The software's ability to follow along and comprehend the disjointed story, then interpret the chronological sequence of events, and then comment on the subtlety of the intent of the structure to allow the viewer to empathize with the characters. It is more than I ever thought the service was capable of. It grasped the complexity of this high-concept plot with ease. Suggestions for improvement. The rules of how the memory erasure works are not clearly defined, which leaves some unanswered questions. Establishing more specifics early on would help the audience understand the stakes. Patrick's character feels underdeveloped. Fleshing out his motivation and backstory could make him a more compelling villain. Now, obviously on a screenplay of this caliber, any improvement recommendations are going to be nitpicky. The Patrick note I can kind of understand, because aside from just being a creep and a bit of a stalker, his motives are a little less defined than the other characters. But either way, when you get a script down to this level of precision, most notes will just be subjective anyway, because there really isn't much you can do to make it any better. The coverage goes on to provide character profiles for Joel, Clementine, Dr. Howard, and Patrick, showcasing what's working well and areas that could be improved. Additionally, the software provides a synopsis, a comprehensive synopsis, main character casting suggestions on a varied budget, as well as a list of comparative films to watch to draw inspiration. Now again, obviously in this instance, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is the most similar movie to itself. But if you were to upload an original screenplay, all the movies would subsequently be unique and pertaining to yours. 11 pages of notes in under 10 minutes. Where else can you get reliable script coverage that quickly? There's nothing else like it. Check us out for a free trial. Links in the bio.